An answer to that question?
No, I will not assist you.
Okay. Well, you have the chairman's support in not answering the question, so let me try another question. Or let me see if I can get clarity again. Did you ever witness any of the members of the working group violate rules regarding grand jury secrecy? Yes or no?
Senator, as I referenced in my prior testimony, the weaponization working group is working diligently to understand the historic abuses and weaponization of the Department of Justice in the Biden administration. Mr. McDonald, did you ever witness anyone in the weaponization working group violate the law? Yes or no? Senator, I would refer you to my prior answer.
Your prior answer was to obfuscate, and it's become very clear you're unwilling to answer very simple questions because it's very clear what that weaponization group is. Mr. McDonald, were you part of the DOJ's weaponization working group?
Senator, as referenced earlier in some questioning during the hearing today, the weaponization working group as commissioned by the President.
A simple yes or no would do. Were you part of the weaponization working group?
Senator, as I referenced earlier in questions before the panel, the weaponization working group as commissioned by the President and then the Attorney General
I still haven't gotten an answer. Were you involved with the weaponization working group, yes or no? It's a simple question. You were either involved with it or you weren't.
Senator, as referenced earlier.
Yes or no, Mr. McDonald?
Senator, as I referenced earlier.
I'm not interested in what you referenced earlier. I'm asking you a simple question right now, not earlier, but right now. Were you part of the weaponization working group at Justice, yes or no?
Senator, as I referenced earlier,
okay, you're not going to answer the question. You're not going to answer the question.
Was rightly identified.
I don't know why you won't answer a simple question, but let me ask you a different question. Do you believe that members of the weaponization working group need to abide by the Justice Department manual? Yes or no?
Senator, as a career federal prosecutor,
asking you a simple question,
I am very well familiar with the U.S. Department of Justice Manual.
I'm glad you are. Do you feel the manual applies to people in the weaponization working group? Do they have to abide by it? Yes or no?
Senator, as you know,
why is that a difficult question for you to answer? Do you believe that members of the weaponization work group have to abide by ethical practices?
Senator, all Department of Justice employees every day.
Is that a yes?
Every day.
I'm asking a very specific question, not about all department employees, but about employees in the weaponization working group. Do they have to abide by the Justice Department manual, yes or no?
Senator, all Department of Justice employees.
So that's a yes?
Operate within the provisions of the Justice Manual.
Mr. McDonald, is that a yes?
Senator, I would refer you to the answer that I just gave.
Or is the weaponization working group something different? Are you suggesting that it's different, that it doesn't have to abide by the ethics manual, that it doesn't have to abide by ethics at all? Why are you refusing to answer a simple question?
Senator, I'm not refusing to answer your question.
Well, do the members of the working group have to abide by the Justice Department manual?
Senator, as I referenced in my previous answer, all Department of Justice employees.
I'm not interested in your previous answers. You can't answer a simple question, or you won't, which leads me to suspect you believe they don't have to apply, they don't have to live up to the standards of the Justice Manual. So let me ask you a different question. In your time working with this group, did you ever observe any of the other members of the weaponization working group violate the Justice Department manual, yes or no?
Senator, the weaponization working group has been working to illuminate the facts.
I'm not interested in a filibuster of an answer. Did you observe members of the working group, or did you yourself violate the Justice Department manual?
Senator, as referenced in prior answers,
so let me ask you another question.
The weaponization working group has been working.
Did you witness members of the weaponization working group mishandle grand jury material?
Senator, as I referenced earlier,
I'm not interested in
the weaponization working group has been working to understand the facts and events underlying significant weaponization of the government during the Biden administration.
Mr. Chairman, I'm asking for a simple question. I would ask your help in getting a direct answer. I've asked the witness whether he believes members of the Weaponization Working Group at the Justice Department need to abide by the Justice Department's own Justice Manual. Would you assist me in getting an answer to that question?
No, I will not assist you.
Okay. Well, you have the chairman's support in not answering the question, so let me try another question. Or let me see if I can get clarity again. Did you ever witness any of the members of the working group violate rules regarding grand jury secrecy? Yes or no?
Senator, as I referenced in my prior testimony, the Weaponization Working Group is working diligently to understand the historic abuses and weaponization of the Department of Justice in the Biden administration. Mr.
McDonald, did you ever witness anyone in the Weaponization Working Group violate the law? Yes or no?
Senator, I would refer you to my prior answer.
Your prior answer was to obfuscate, and it's become very clear you're unwilling to answer very simple questions, because it's very clear what that weaponization group is all about, and that is using the awesome powers of the Department of Justice to go after the president's enemies. I yield back, Mr. Chairman.
All right, everyone, welcome back. Grab a drink and buckle up, because what we are breaking down today is one of the most astonishing, unhinged political slugfests to hit a Senate Appropriations Committee hearing in years. We are in May 2026, and the political war over the weaponization and restructuring of federal law enforcement has reached an absolute boiling point. On one side of the ring, you have Senator Patty Murray of Washington, a veteran Democratic institutionalist who is absolutely fed up with what she views as the reality TV-ification of the Federal Bureau of Investigation. On the other side, you have FBI Director Kash Patel, one of the most polarizing figures in modern American intelligence, a man who went from conservative podcasting fame straight into the director's chair at the J. Edgar Hoover Building. What unfolds in this 6-minute transcript is a masterclass in political narrative building, statistical counterpunching, and a deep ideological divide over what the FBI's mission should actually be in 2026. Let's do an educational deep dive into the first round of this fight, the presidential clemency contradiction. Murray begins with what looks like a standard compliment, thanking the rank-and-file FBI agents who cracked down on a massive $25 million Medicare fraud scheme that preyed on vulnerable senior citizens suffering from Alzheimer's and dementia. Patel nods along, noting that financial fraud work is often overlooked. But then Murray drops the trap. She points out that while Donald Trump campaigns on a strict law and order platform, he granted clemency last June to Lawrence Duran, the mastermind of a staggering $87 million Medicare fraud ring, letting him off the hook for restitution and slashing his business partner's 35-year prison sentence. Murray's strategic play here is brilliant. She is trying to decouple the working-class FBI agents from their political leadership. She is arguing that while everyday agents are burning the midnight oil to protect American taxpayers, the White House is actively undoing their work by pardoning well-connected white-collar fraudsters. But Murray is just warming up. She immediately transitions from financial fraud to the most explosive domestic policy issue of 2026, Stephen Miller's mass deportation agenda. Murray voices a terrifying concern shared by civil liberties advocates across the country, that the administration is systematically cannibalizing elite federal law enforcement agencies to build a massive deportation machine. She asks Patel point-blank how many FBI agents have been pulled away from criminal cases to act as immigration enforcement officers. Patel fires back with a flat, unequivocal denial. No one at the FBI has been reassigned to work solely on immigration. But look at the receipts Murray drops at the 218 mark. She cites a devastating study from the Cato Institute showing that in 2025 alone, over 2,000 FBI agents were stripped from their standard beats and reassigned to immigration enforcement tasks. And it's not just the Bureau. Murray reveals that 2,000 DEA agents, 600 U.S. Marshals, and over 1,000 ATF agents have been pulled off the front lines. This is an extraordinary piece of data. Murray is making the case that by turning the FBI, the DEA, and the ATF into a backup border patrol, the administration is leaving local communities completely exposed to violent gangs, illegal arms trafficking, and the synthetic opioid crisis. She is framing the border surge not as a security win, but as a massive domestic vulnerability. Now, Let's look at the third layer of this confrontation, the authoritarian information crackdown. Murray shifts her focus to Patel's internal management of the FBI, addressing recent reporting that has sent shockwaves through Washington. She accuses Patel of implementing a reign of terror inside the bureau, forcing file and rank employees to undergo aggressive polygraph examinations to terrify potential whistleblowers and track down internal leakers. Even more chilling, she references allegations that the FBI is actively using its massive surveillance apparatus to investigate investigative journalists who publish negative stories about Patel's leadership or his personal legal battles. Patel reacts instantly, attempting to pivot by attacking past administrations, claiming the Obama and Biden eras targeted dozens of journalists. But Murray doesn't let him slide, cutting him off mid-sentence. "I didn't ask you about the Biden administration." She forces him into a hard corner, demanding a clear commitment on the record. Patel is forced to state unequivocally under oath that the FBI is targeting 0 journalists and that no agent hours have been diverted to manage his personal PR or lawsuits. This leads directly into the macroeconomic debate over the 2026 Trump war budget. Murray looks at the broader federal ledger and declares that the administration's true priority isn't domestic law and order, it is global conflict. She notes that while the White House is hacking away at domestic social safety nets and local law enforcement assistance programs, the president is demanding a $500 billion increase in military spending to fund ongoing foreign engagements. Murray delivers a blistering critique of the new Department of War philosophy, stating bluntly, "We are not going to bomb our way to safer communities." She vows to use her legislative power to rip up the administration's budget proposal and rewrite federal spending priorities from scratch. But the absolute climax of this entire video, the moment that is already going viral across every platform, is the raw, personal takedown Murray unloads at the 5-minute mark. She looks across the dais at Kash Patel and attacks his entire public persona. She accuses him of being an unserious celebrity bureaucrat who spends his time jetting around the globe, attending the Milan Olympics, and distributing custom-branded FBI bourbon to his political allies. In an unforgettable piece of political rhetoric, Murray states, "If you want to pass out liquor or pop bottles in a locker room, stick to podcasting. Leave law and order to people who really do care about justice." It is a devastating, visceral attack designed to completely delegitimize Patel as a professional law enforcement director. Watch how Patel responds, because this is where his media training kicks in. He doesn't get angry. Instead, he pulls out a chart and unloads a barrage of stunning operational metrics achieved under his 14-month tenure. He drops the numbers like a sledgehammer, a 20-point drop in the national homicide rate, 45,000 violent offenders locked up, doubling the numbers from 2024, a massive 322% spike in disrupted criminal gangs, 6,900 missing child victims located, and the capture of 8 of the top 10 most wanted fugitives on Earth. Patel uses these staggering statistics to frame himself as a highly effective, disruptive leader who is being subjected to fraudulent, partisan hit jobs. He tells the committee, "Keep the target on me, but the mission has never been better." Ultimately, this 6-minute and 35-second showdown exposes the foundational ideological conflict of 2026. On one hand, you have Murray representing the traditional view that the FBI must maintain strict bureaucratic neutrality, protect civil liberties, and avoid the appearance of political theater or authoritarian overreach. On the other hand, you have Kash Patel's populist law enforcement doctrine, a doctrine that doesn't care about elite institutional norms, custom-branded bourbon optics, or beltway media complaints as long as the raw arrest numbers and gang disruption statistics are breaking records. As you look at this footage, you have to decide which reality you believe. Are we looking at a highly weaponized, politicized FBI that is abandoning local communities to fuel a mass deportation agenda and intimidate journalists? Or are we looking at a highly effective, modern Department of Justice that is cutting through institutional red tape to deliver unprecedented reductions in violent crime? One thing is absolutely certain. The old era of quiet, behind-the-scenes congressional oversight is completely dead. The battle for the soul of American law order is playing out live, under the camera lights, and the fallout from this hearing will shape the federal justice system for years to come.